learning how to ask questions.
Very good noon to you all. I'm Avni Chani, and today I'm going to deal with the topic literary allusions in a long day's journey into night. Here is the roadmap of my presentation. First one is Shakespeare. Here I am discussing about the literary allusion which have taken by Eugene O'Neill on in his play Long Day's Journey into Night. The first and most prominent character and the very inspirational character came in this play is Shakespeare's quote: "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings." In Long Day's Journey into Night, the character Edmund Tyrone makes a reference to this line in Act 3, Scene 1. Edmund uses this quote to express his belief that people are responsible for their own actions and decisions rather than being controlled by fate or external forces. He says, "I am sick of the past and all its memories. If it's the past that's to blame, then let's go into the future with a new spirit of hope. The fault is not in our stars but in ourselves." The quote also highlights the idea that the character in the play are trapped by their own weakness and flaws, which prevent them from achieving happiness and fulfillment. Overall, the reference to Julius Caesar and this particular quote reinforces the theme of personal responsibility and the struggle to overcome one's own limitations. Othello. Second reference came to this play is Othello. The praise Edwin Booth gave my Othello. In Act 4, the character James Tyrone recalls a conversation he had with Edwin Booth, a famous Shakespearean actor, about his portrayal of Othello. James tells his family, "I remember Edwin Booth's praise of my Othello. He said it was the best he had ever seen, and he had seen the greatest Othello of his time." The reference to Edwin Booth's praise of James Tyrone's Othello is significant because it highlights James' past success as an actor. As we all know that James Tyrone was a great actor in his old days, and he was very attached to the theater. And whoever is very attached and very close to the theater are very inspired by Shakespeare, as we all know that Shakespeare is the greatest dramatist ever. James had a promising career in the theater, but he became trapped in a cycle of performing the same popular role, Edmund Kean's portrayal of Richard III, to the detriment of his artistic growth and reputation. The memory of Booth's praise also reveals James' desire for recognition and validation as an actor. Despite his past success, James is haunted by the fear that he will never be able to escape his typecasting and achieve the artistic greatness he craves. Here, I would like to mention the Bollywood, that many Bollywood actors are not like to very happy with the background character. They always want to cast in a very they always want to be casted in as a protagonist and as the main hero. So in this situation, James is also desiring about the main hero, and he craves for greatness. Overall, the reference to Edwin Booth's praise of James Tyrone's Othello is a poignant reminder of James' lost and his ongoing struggle with regret and self-doubt. Here comes the Hamlet. Many have been considered the Long Day's Journey into Night play is very similar to Hamlet, as many considers this James Tyrone is similar to Hamlet, and the Mary is very similar to the Ophelia. In Act 2 of A Long Day's Journey into Night, the character Edmund Tyrant makes a reference to the mad scene from Shakespeare's play Hamlet. Jamie Tyrone breaks the heavy silence with the words, "The mad scene enter Ophelia." The mad scene that Edmund is referring to is the scene in which Ophelia, Hamlet's love interest, goes mad after her father's death and Hamlet's rejection of her. I believe that Edmund's reference to the mad scene reflects his own sense of despair and isolation. Like Ophelia, Edmund is struggling to come to terms with his own morality and inevitability of his own death. The reference also underscores the universal themes of loss and grief that permeate the play and highlights the way of literature can provide solace and meaning in time of profound sadness and despair. When Mary fell in love and was so happy for a time, she, like Ophelia, talks to herself in her own world about father and lover, and she wanted to get to the nunnery to which Ophelia was sent by Hamlet. Tyrant's reaction to Mary's condition is, "It's a damned position, but I have never known her to drown herself in it as deep as this." Claudius' reaction to Ophelia. "Oh, this is a poison of a deep grief." When we look at the character of Mary, then Mary is a very, very, very deep drowned in the addiction, and the tyrant considers that it is very damned position, and she is drowning in alcohol, and sorry, she is drowning in addiction very deep. In the play, James Tyrant, who studied Shakespeare as you would study the Bible, quotes Shakespeare and only Shakespeare at every opportunity. When we look at that, what background Tyrant is coming from, he is a very famous theater artist, and whoever is very connected with the theater are very inspired to the Shakespeare, and his this statement make Shakespeare God. Studied Shakespeare as you would study the Bible. By comparison the comparing Bible to Shakespeare is he is considering Shakespeare as a god, and Bible is a reference that he uses to make Shakespeare as god. According to the Norman Berlin, Jamie Tyrone O'Neill's Hamlet in Long Day's Journey into Night, bitter and cynical, his whole life revolves around the condition of his mother. These are the most terrible comments on his mother's dope addiction, as his reference to the mad Ophelia indicates, because he, more than his father and brother, has the greatest dependence on her. His love is greatest, and therefore his disappointment is greatest. Overall, the reference to the mad scene from Hamlet serves as a poignant reminder of the play's enduring relevance and the power of literature to help us confront the most difficult aspects of our lives. Biblical allusions. In Long Day's Journey into Night, the character Mary tells the story of how she considered becoming a nun. When she was younger, she says, "I told Mother Elizabeth I wanted to be a nun, and I remember saying, 'I know that the Blessed Virgin had smiled and blessed me with her constant consent. I never lost my faith in her.'" The reference to the Blessed Virgin in this passage is a biblical allusion to the Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus in a Christian tradition. The idea of Mary blessing someone with her consent is a common theme in Catholicism, where Mary is seen as a powerful intercessor between humans and God. The passage also reflects the character of Mary's religious faith and her belief in the possibility of a divine intervention. Like many of the characters in the play, Mary is struggling to find meaning and purpose in her life, and her faith provides her with a sense of comfort and stability. The reference to Blessed Virgin also highlights the theme of family dysfunction in the play. Mary's decision to become a nun may have been motivated by desire to escape the dysfunction of her family and find a sense of purpose and belonging elsewhere. At the convent, I had so many friends. I used to visit them and they would visit me. As per my opinion, while recalling these memories, Mary shows us indirectly that she might have been happy before marriage. She was having friends and living social life happily. This very sentence is make us believe that when we are connected to the religion and religious practice, then we are very happy and we will have lots of friends. When we stand against the religion, then we would lost friends, and we would also lost from the society. Implicit in this is the idea that maintaining a connection with one's religious beliefs can lead to sustained happiness. Here are some dialogues which shows faith of Mary in God. I I knew she heard my prayer and would always love me and see no harm ever came to me. I love Mother Elizabeth better than my own mother. Allusions to modern literature. What were you grinning about the Cheshire cats when you came in? The phrase grinning like Cheshire cat is an allusion to the classic novel Alice and Adventure in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. In the story, Alice encounters a grinning Cheshire cat whose smile remains even after his body has disappeared. This reference demonstrates how literary allusions can be used to add depth and complexity to language, allowing us to draw upon the rich history and cultural significance of literary works to enrich our everyday communication. Conclusion. The conclusion that can be drawn from the fact that Long Day's Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill is a play that contains many literary allusions is that O'Neill was a highly educated and well-read writer who drew inspiration from a variety of literary sources. Help these allusions help to deepen the themes and the characters in the play and provide additional layers of meaning for the audience. To interrupt, they also demonstrate O'Neill's skill as a writer in his ability to weave together different text and ideas to create a cohesive and impactful work of art. Additionally, the use of literary allusion in Long Day's Journey into Night emphasize the play's connections to, to the broader literary canon, positioning as a significant work within the history of drama and literature. Here are my works cited. If there are any question.
Me. My question is you mentioned in your biblical allusions slide. Why is it important to understand the literary allusions in the long day's journey into night?
When we very first look at the whole play, Long Day's Journey into Night, it will not impact that much. But when we look upon the what references he has given in the Long Day's Journey into Night, then we will come to know that it is very deep. And whenever we read it again and again, we will find a very different meanings. That is why I have mentioned earlier that Ophelia's character before reading before reading it differently. I was not aware about the character of comparison of the character of Ophelia and Ophelia to the Mary. But after reading second time, I will come to know that this is like this. So that's how the references impacts the literature.
Okay. How do these allusions that you have mentioned enhance the play's themes and character?
These allusions are very helpful to the play as it has lots of allusions like Hamlet, Othello, and Julius Caesar, and also modern allusions. And there are many philosophies in this play. So while reading with the reference of this, we will come to know that yes, this is this, and it has very deep meaning. So like a character of Ophelia, I have earlier mentioned that after reading, as a yes, as James Tyrion was also a theater artist, the that's why also we can see that how Shakespeare has an impact on James Tyrion. So this is how the literary allusions are works uh, in his plays. Thank you.